Jazz speaks to a lot of people on an emotional level. It's not prescriptive in the same way that classical Western music is. It gives the individual the freedom to say what they're feeling and communicate directly to an audience how they're doing. And this happens at every level. So if you have young musicians who are particularly excited and buzzed about the fact that they've been able to play a solo with a group of musicians and it's not gone horrifically wrong, you can hear through their energy and their rhythmic phrasing that they're excited. And an audience will get that and they'll dig it and they'll really respond in a way that it'll be a bit of a cycle. They'll be happy, the other person who's given the solo will be happy as well, and it'll just grow and grow. So that's what there is with jazz. It has a way to communicate at all levels.
Okay guys, take 12 minutes please.
Derby Jazz has always existed for 25 years as an organisation to do with making jazz happen in Derby. And that's got lots of different strands, and in fact right from the very first gig that we ever ran, it's had an education element.
The main objective of the Giant Steps Summer School is to introduce young local musicians to a variety of jazz skills in a positive and friendly learning environment where they can feel comfortable enough to actually develop their burgeoning improvisation skills and meet new friends.
We offer children 4 days of really quite intense work. I mean, they're here from 10 in the morning till 6:30 at night with a couple of short breaks. And then on the 4th day they're here till 10, 11 at night.
My friend told me about the summer school because she'd been before. She said she'd really enjoyed it and I thought I might try it.
I got one of the 3 places, the Gifted and Talented, and my school nominated me and asked me because I'd never heard about it before.
We've got a team of our own experienced tutors who run other education projects for us. And they're here all the time. We back them up with another team of undergraduates who've come through our scheme, so we know them, they know us. They're young jazz musicians and they help out and support the lead tutors. And then we bring in guest artists like Alex Wilson and Andy Panay and Tony Kofi and Winston Clifford and whoever, and that takes it all up another notch altogether.
Jazz, I want to be a professional musician, so it's kind of useful to get to go to some of the schools like this and experience jazz, how it is kind of.
This is my first time I've ever played jazz. I'm loving it so far, it's been really good. It's really different from what the things I've been playing.
I don't really listen to jazz and I haven't really played it before, but I've really enjoyed it here.
I'm a singer. I also play piano, but with the jazz I just do the singing.
No, I've never played jazz. I've played it a few little bits here and there, but not really. I'm used to playing on my own and playing mostly classical music as well.
Well, it's really good to have experience with jazz because it's just a different aspect of music and it's just so exciting and vibrant. It's really fun.
Music education's changed quite drastically over the past 10 years or so. Not so long ago we were very focused on traditional music, classical Western music, and because it was seen to be quite elitist and it excluded a certain amount of individuals who were interested in music but didn't have those skills, the exam boards have changed all of their curriculum and the national curriculum has developed now so that it's much more of a world music based approach to its curriculum and also exams. So the programs that they've developed include blues and jazz, they include world music, which includes your African rhythms and your Asian music, your Bhangra. So music is developed quite drastically throughout the school program.
Music education is very important because it regenerates the music, remembering that we want to appeal as jazz musicians to many different ages, and there is a danger of the type of music that we play that the audience ages and doesn't regenerate. So exposing these young musicians to proper music that needs to be played and read and practiced and everything spreads both the performance skill and also the appreciation.
Very good, very good.
I think they all get something through this that they can't get through their school. And they get something in terms of the intensity of the music experience, and the jazz thing, of course, is something they definitely get very little of at school. Might be part of their GCSE curriculum, but that might be, a music lesson a week for a term. This is a bit different. I mean, they'll do more hours of jazz playing here in 4 days than they do in a term of music lessons at school. And they're doing it with other children who are interested and are energised by it. And the expertise of the tutors is considerable as well, of course. So in that sense, there's a lot more going on. And it's much more intense and much more rewarding than it can be in a school environment.
Playing with a band is what I enjoy. I prefer that than playing like by myself or something, because you're with other people, you're having a laugh, you're just enjoying yourself. And also the guest artists that came along, it's a chance to play with like some of them. It's just a great opportunity. To actually stand alongside as they're playing and like they're teaching you their knowledge and everything. It's just great.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Meeting musicians helps build your confidence as well as your knowledge, because they pass down their views and opinions, but you can take those on board and translate them into your own language, so to speak. When they give you one-to-one help as well, it's really useful because sometimes you can't just learn stuff by yourself. You can be told by one person over and over again, but to get a different point of view, it kind of sets it in your head a bit.
It's fascinating because there's several aspects of this sort of work that I love. I mean, number one is the various kids just jump out and you think, wow, I would never expected that. Like a little 11-year-old kid playing congas today and doing a great job. And you get back as much as you give. And it does inspire you in your performing. So it's all interconnected. So I do love it for that reason.
I've made loads of friends. I mean, I know most of the people here already, but some of them I've never met in my life before, and I've made friends with them, so it's kind of broadens the spectrum of friends I've got now.
Playing and enjoying yourself, I think, is what I get out of it. It's enjoyment.
It's been a lot of hard work.
I mean, it's very challenging playing for 4 days, so this is definitely increasing stamina through playing. And it's made me a better reader as well these past 4 days. I can read music a lot better. I think satisfaction through playing and completing pieces, really, like pieces you've never seen, and then you completed them in 4 days. It's just like incredible.
Fantastic. Does everyone else then come back in F?
And the idea is that the young musicians learn new music every day, and they're all expected to come to grips with that and play from charts, but they're also expected to work in small groups on improvisation and developing their own ideas and their own approaches to music.
Classical, everything's kind of very precise and stuff, but in jazz it's just more improvising and more, this is it, let's just go for it kind of thing.
Everyone's encouraged to improvise while we're here, because in jazz, improvisation is one of the biggest things, to actually get across what you're feeling in the music. And so in this course, it kind of gets everyone to do it, and then if you don't do well, like fair play, you've had a go, and if you do well, then you get put on the front line and start improvisation through that.
Children who come here have often never had an introduction to improvising at all, and they'll come and they'll work with our support staff and our core staff and the guest artists, and they'll leave the summer school with the real belief that there's no voodoo, there's no mystery to jazz improvisation. It's just a matter of speaking to them in a language which they're comfortable with and which they're used to at schools, which is something that we work very hard on trying to get right.
It's the first time I've ever improvised jazz, and I'm finding it hard, but it's interesting and challenging. I've had a go at improvisation here. I find it quite hard though, because I'm not very good at thinking up on the spot.
They're also here to build up their social skills, learn how to play with ensembles, and they get a wider vision on how to interpret and paraphrase with other musicians in a jazz language and jazz vocabulary.
The thing that's really special about it is that we're all the time trying to encourage the young musicians to be themselves, to find something to play within the music that is theirs that nobody else would play, and something that will excite them too. It's very exciting, I think, for an 8 or 9 or 10-year-old saxophone player or trumpet player to see children who are just that bit older but who can play miles better and are going on to seriously study the music. And I think it's just giving them that encouragement to think that yes, I can do that. You know, it's not something that's impossible, because the summer school doesn't exist in isolation. It links into East Midlands Youth Jazz Orchestra, so if they want to carry on, they can get involved with something that meets every week and rehearses every week and keep developing through the year, and then this kind of intense burst in the summer.
It's good meeting people who are better than you, because they can tell you how to do stuff which you didn't know before.
There's always going to be someone better than you, no matter how good you are. So you playing with other people, they could be better at you than something they can teach you, then you can teach them what you're better at them at. So everything here, playing with other people, is just great. It's really good.
I've really enjoyed the fact that there's like loads of different instruments, and it's like we make such a great sound together.